wanted to share with you the overall vision, and there's a lot that I want to talk about, and I just kind of want to have a unfiltered, just open discussion with you guys because there's been a lot on my mind, and I thought instead of keeping it to myself, I would rather share it with all of you and kind of just have an open conversation about this, and I might get a lot of insight from you as well. So there's a lot of plans for how we want to move forward with Clever Programmer moving forward this year, and especially in 2022, because the year is coming to an end. And one of the things that we were working on, one of the things that we're essentially working on is this entire year, a lot of our time and energy was spent building out the new programs that we built and launched out, like our coding bootcamp. And when I think about Clever Programmer and like why I started it, what was the reason? Because there's so many ups and downs that happen in the journey that a lot of times you lose sight. I'm not gonna lie. There have been many times where I thought about, why am I doing this? Like, why are we doing this at all? Like, we should just not have it, and I could have a very simple life and just have a regular job and don't have to deal with. There's so many things that you have to deal with. It's like you don't have to deal with them. You can just do a regular job and be fine, right? So I thought about it, and I'm like, why? And I went back to 5 years ago when it was just me. There was nobody on the team. We didn't have a massive team. Like, we have like 10 or 15 people right now on the team. And before, we didn't have a team. There wasn't anybody. It was just me in my tiny little crappy office that I got in Chicago. It's like 400 square feet, like super small. And, I just loved coding. That was one of my passions, and that excited me. And so I would code there, and I would just share that. And I would code, and I would share that. And I would code, and I would share that. And that was it. That was all that was happening, right? That was all that was happening. And once I started sharing that information, a lot of people started liking it, getting value out of it. And a lot of people were like, hey, this is awesome. And so I'm like, okay, let me go more into that. So then I started focusing more on the side of sharing it, teaching it, growing the channel. And then one of the things that was the most transformative for me was when students started to be able to land jobs. I would get a message like, hey, I've been struggling for so many years, came across your content, and I finally feel like I have the skills, and I was able to land a job. And that was something that was absolutely amazing. The fact that students could get jobs, the fact that I selfishly could do what I loved, which was coding and sharing it. Those are the two things I absolutely love. And that was it. It was very, very, very simple. It was just like the most simplest thing you can think of. And that was really fun. And that was a great way of doing things. And a lot of people felt a lot of connection with me as well. Whereas over the years, what started happening was we started getting a bigger team. You have to manage the team. You have to work with so many people. And then we're launching these new programs. They require a lot of fulfillment, time, energy. And so you start kind of seeing me less and less and less on YouTube. And then the connection with the people on YouTube starts to be a little bit less and less, which is you guys. And that is kind of like I kind of miss that part. Like, I miss the feeling that I would get with connecting with all of you and constantly putting new things together for you and, making an amazing, whatever material that we dropped on YouTube. Like, that was awesome. And I want to start getting back to more of that. But one thing I don't want to give up that I'm addicted to and the team is addicted to is students getting jobs. And students getting placed and working with companies. And that is one of the best things ever. And so up until now, the problem that we've been having is we have great programs. We provide incredible education. And we want to get better at on the side, where we have a weakness is we want to get better on the side where we have more relationships with other companies where we can go, hey, here's our talent pool. And there you go. We just match make them because we're taking a student from, hey, you're a truck driver. You are somebody who does like repair. You are somebody who's doing help desk support. We'll take you. We'll teach you. And we work with students 3 months, 6 months, 7 months, and we do hands-on training, so much stuff, right? And we get them all the way there. But the last step is them getting a job. And so they will, either we'll help them get a job or they will figure out how to get a job. But it's just that one last step. And I think that's one of the most impactful steps for us to not have in our company, as like a main foundation for us to be extremely strong at that side. Because we have tons of students getting jobs, but we want it to be where we're so dialed in with these other companies that we could essentially just take our talent pool. Even you watching this on YouTube, you can take you and give you opportunities to get jobs and give you opportunities to get interviews, because we can go, hey, you're under Clever Programmer. We've tested this person. This person is qualified, and let us put in touch with you. And then businesses are like, okay, we trust Clever Programmer. We trust who comes out of it. Cool. Like they go through you. They go through the company Clever Programmer. Your chances shoot up like 10 or 20x in terms of you being able to get a job. And I talked with somebody today who has a pretty amazing, company, and I'll bring him on as a guest. He's a CEO of VanHack. His name is Ilya, and when I was talking with him, I got so much inspiration and I got so much insight into, wow, this is amazing. Like, he's helped place 450 50 people at a job. Like, that's awesome. But the main people that he provides for and serves are the people who are like intermediate to advanced with 5+ years of experience. And he will like just get those people. And then if you're good and you're intermediate experience, go to them and they will just hand you to a job, right? And I thought that was so fantastic. That is such a life-changing thing to be able to do for somebody. It's like, it literally will change somebody's life. Like, he showed us a photo of one of his students who's on a flight, like who moved from Pakistan and moved to Canada because of the job. And you could see the photos of him being on the plane. And I'm like, damn, that is cool. And then there's so many stories like that. But that's 450 students placed at a job. That is crazy. Like, it's so crazy that if you actually think about it, I'm just going to do math here. That's why I'm looking over at this screen. So think about it like this. 450 students. Let's say an average student that's placed makes $80,000 to $90,000 a year, right? 450 multiplied by an average $90,000 a year. That's those 450 people combined are making are all together making $40,500,000 per year. $40 million per year. So like, he was able to do something that helped provide $40 million a year worth of value to the people who, I don't know. That seems pretty amazing. Like, that changes all those people's lives forever. And it provides so much value to the job marketplace. And I kept thinking about it, and I'm kind of getting obsessed with that idea because, like, I hate that we can give you these skills on YouTube, but then we can't go, here, let us also plug you into a company. Like, that's been kind of eating away at me. And, most YouTubers that I look at, they're not doing that because it's a hard thing to do, right? Like, we installed a coding boot camp into our business this year, and that was a freaking hard thing to be able to pull off. Like, that took massive amount of money, massive amount of effort, massive amount of energy from the whole team, because we have to like compete with massive coding boot camps that have like millions and millions and millions, it's tens of millions or hundreds of millions of dollars of funding. And now we as a small company have to compete against that, but we still pulled it off and we still provided so much value. And we have so many students, and we have our average placement job rate for most students is $55,000 a year or more as a junior developer, right? So this $90,000 a year that I'm talking about, this is for 5+ years of experience. Our students have, oftentimes no experience of coding. So we'll take somebody who's help desk or is truck driver, or it doesn't matter, right? Like, has done e-commerce in the past and has no idea about coding, but we'll teach. So when I think about that, I'm like, that is really cool. And that's fascinating. And like, that was really hard to figure out, right? And to do. And we provide so much education also just on our YouTube channel for free and all our platforms. Because when I think about like what's the number one, let me unblur myself. When I think about what's the number one goal that I could serve and the entire company could serve, and if I could just take all the emotion out of it, it's not like me giving you crazy energy or us hyping you up or us. It's none of that. It's you going from where you are and you getting a job as a developer. Everything else is honestly a bonus. So when I think about that, I go, that's the direction we want to go to, where we can like get students jobs and that's it, right? Because then how our business model works at that point is it's the company pays us and we get you placed at a job. And so it's just a very simple thing. And I just feel like it's the right way to go long term. You know, right now as a company, we need funding and we need support. So we'll do a lot of things. You know, we'll offer a ton of valuable things. But I feel like ultimately the goal is how can we remove all the friction for you so that we can just give you all the skills as frictionless as possible and as affordably as possible, so then you can get a job. So that's the side that we're in the process of figuring out. That's the side that we're weak at. That's the side we're trying to get a lot stronger at. You know, and that side specifically is relationships with other big companies, startups, so that you could essentially just get placed at those jobs. Of course, you know, assuming you've followed our channel, you've built the skill, but regardless of what country you live in, right? Because we know a lot of people in a third world country, if you're watching this video right now, it's hard for you to be able to join any of our courses because like it's much more expensive where you live, you know? And so, and it's like we want to be able to provide that value, that coaching, but it's also really hard to be able to do it for free at scale. The best we can do is like provide it on YouTube. But what this does for us is we can now even help people in any country, right? Like Nigeria, India, Pakistan. It doesn't matter. Like all the countries are now open because the US market is looking for talent and there are not enough jobs to fill. There's a huge gap in the supply and demand. There's a massive supply and the demand is very short. There's like 1 million developer job postings per year, I think, in US that don't get filled, or either it's worldwide or US. That's a huge amount of job openings that don't get filled, right? And so, so we want to be able to help fill that, and we want to be able to help people in all countries, not just US, anywhere in the world. And you know, you can get US paying rates even from third world countries, and even if it's slightly less than an average like US citizen might get paid, like that's still huge, right? If you're in Pakistan, which is where I'm from, if you get paid like literally $10,000 a year, you're balling, like USD, you know? If you're getting paid $40,000 or $55,000, I mean, that's huge, right? That's like generation changing. And so we want to get into that. But what we need for that is that's going to take time and it's going to take a lot of effort. And we're really like this area, we're not very knowledgeable in, and we don't have many relationships with a lot of big companies. And we want to get better at it. So this is a part in the title where it says I could use your help. This is a part where I want to ask for your help because ultimately our goal is maximum number of students placed at a job per year. And we want to like make that our number one goal. You know, so we want to get to our ultimate goal is as much education as we can possibly provide for free and as many students we can get placed at jobs. That would literally make us the perfect market fit, right? Because we take away all the friction from you and we take the friction away from other businesses in the marketplace and we match make and we get you the skills you need as well. And I just feel like from my heart-wise, that feels great to move in that direction. From the business-wise, it feels great to move in that direction. From your perspective, it feels best to move in that direction. I think it would bring massive value to all of you and to you watching. So this is a part where I need your help, which is it's random. Somebody making up stuff because I don't even know where. It's like what you don't know what you don't know, right? So it's like, I guess, like, drop a message if you are in, at a job, at a startup, or your companies are looking for developers. I guess, like, that would be the first place. Like, is your company looking for a developer? Are you currently employed? Your company is looking for a developer. If they are, just drop a comment below. Or if you really, really are adamant about helping, I think the best one that I will guaranteed see, I will see your comments as well. For sure, I'll see your comments. But you can text me at this number. It will be 1224-651-8817. Again, that's 1224-651-8817. You can text me at that number, and you can literally just say, hashtag job help or something. And I will know what that means, and I will get in touch with you immediately. So I basically need help from anybody if you're working at a company or you have a company that's looking for developer jobs, because I think that'd be the best place to kind of get started. That would be the best place to start a, communication process there, and go, hey, we have talent. We could hook you up with talent, right? So maybe you're already working at a company, if it's between 10 to 50 people, that's a great size. If it's bigger, then that's even better, especially if you're looking for developers, because we have tons of people on YouTube. We have tons of people in our boot camps and our courses that are ready to get jobs, or they're super close to getting jobs. And we want to just increase that process and make it faster. So, those things would be really helpful if you want to message anything around that, because then I'll follow up with you in more detail, because that would be game changer. Any additional way you want to help, that would be absolutely huge. Like, I don't know if you're really good at reaching out to companies or talking to companies, or you have experience with B2B, whatever the case may be, you can let me know that. I'll follow up with you. I'll speak with you. That could be a huge freaking game changer, because our goal collectively is to get max number of job placements. And I feel like content is a great way to do it, but it gives you all the education, but then the last part of actually landing a job, it just leaves it in the air. And I feel like if we control that part, a clever programmer, and we could fight on your behalf for a higher paying salary and getting you all the benefits and all of that, and that was in our control, we could get people higher paying jobs. We could control how many students get jobs. And whatever our number ever is, like if we get, let's just say 200 people placed at a job, or 300 verified people placed at a job a year, if we could actually control that process and we have a relationship with these companies, we could easily 10x that number and get 1,000 or like 2,000 people placed at jobs per year, which would be freaking massive, right? Like, oh my God, at 55,000, let's just as a junior developer, 1,000 people placed. Oh my God, that would be like, if 1,000 people got placed, oh no, I wrote 10,000 people. Let me write that. So if 1,000 people got placed at jobs making $55,000 a year, that would essentially mean that we're helping the economy move forward by $55 million a year. That's crazy, right? Between 1,000 developers making that much, that is absolutely incredible. So that's an exciting goal. I think I want to shoot for, whatever. Like, I'm going to have my hopes high, my expectations low, and that's where the margin of happiness exists, by the way. So I would literally love to have, between 100 to 1,000 people placed at jobs in 2022, verifiable, documented with their numbers right there, or whatever they're comfortable with sharing. And that would be absolutely amazing. That'd be fascinating. And then I would want to share that journey with you as well. But honestly, any help, any ideas, any suggestions of even what we should do next or what I should do next, in order to move in that direction would be absolutely appreciated. And let me know if this is something you can help us with, or if you're already working at a company that'd be open to hearing about it. That would mean the world to me. Other than that, absolutely love your beautiful face. Smash the like button if you haven't already. Subscribe to the damn channel. And as always, I'll see